Hi guys, thank you so much for coming back to my channel and welcome if you're new here. My name is Lala and I'm a crochet designer, and this is my channel where I share crochet tutorials, tips and tricks. I'll just start with the best things about this top that I designed. I'm going to show you today how to make. It has no corset and it's side boob proof. I used category 2 fine yarn for this one, but I also made it with category 4 worsted yarn and it worked up a lot quicker, so you can use different kinds of yarn to make it. Let's start crocheting! We're going to start by working a slip knot, and if you're not sure of how to make a slip knot, I'll link a tutorial showing 3 different ways on how to do it, so you can pick your favorite. And we're going to start by chaining 13. So to chain, you're going to pass the hook under the yarn and grab the yarn with the hook's head into the tie we just did. We're going to chain 12 more to have a total of 13 chains. Now that we have 13 chains in our foundation chain, we're going to work into the back bumps. If you turn your foundation chain a little bit, you can see them. So 1, 2, 3, and insert your hook into the back bump of the 4th chain from the hook and work a double crochet. This chain 3 doesn't count as a stitch. This is the first stitch of the row. We're going to crochet 8 more double crochets to have 9 double crochets in total. Into the last chain, we're going to increase 5 double crochets together, meaning we're going to work a double crochet into the last chain. And then into that same chain, we're going to add 4 more double crochets into that same hole. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we have the top of the cup, and we're going to double crochet into the next 9 chains. This one's a little distorted, but we're going to insert our hook into both loops, even if it's a little bit challenging. 1, 2, all the way to the end of the row. And this is row number 1. Count your stitches around and make sure you have 23 stitches in total. To start row number 2, we're going to turn our work like this, so the back is facing us, and start by working 3 chains. 1, 2, 3, and again this doesn't count as a stitch. And into the first stitch we're going to work a double crochet, and then work 10 more double crochets to have 11 double crochets in total. When we have 11 double crochets on this side, we're going to increase in the next stitch and work 3 double crochets into 1 stitch. So 1 double crochet, and into the same stitch we just double crocheted into the same hole, another 2 double crochets. And then continue working until the end of the row, which will be 11 double crochets. 1 double crochet in each stitch. One last double crochet into the last stitch, and this was row 2. To start row 3, we're going to again turn our work, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and double crochet 12. When we have 12 double crochets done, we're going to work 5 double crochet increase into the next stitch. So 1 double crochet, 2 into the same stitch, 3, 4, and 5. And then continue working 12 double crochets in the next remaining 12 stitches. And this was row 3. Make sure you have 29 stitches around. To start round 4, we're going to again turn our work, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and double crochet into the next 14 stitches. When you got 14 double crochets done, we're going to work a 5 double crochet increase into the next stitch. So 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and into the same stitch 4 more double crochets. 2 into the same stitch, 3, 4, and 5. And then continue working 14 double crochets in the next remaining 14 stitches. And this is how round 4 looks. It's already starting to look like a cup with the curving. Count your stitches and make sure you have 33 stitches around. For round 5, turn your work, chain 3, 2, 3, and double crochet in the next 16 stitches. 1 double crochet in each stitch. And 16. When you got 16 double crochets, we're going to work a 5 double crochet increase in the next stitch. So 1 into the same stitch, 2 into the same stitch, 3 into the same stitch, 4, and 1 last double crochet increase, 5. And then continue working 16 double crochets in the next 16 stitches. And this was round 5. Count your stitches and make sure you have 37 stitches around. To start round 6, turn your work and chain 3, and start by working 18 double crochets in the next 18 stitches. And 18. When you got 18 double crochets, we're going to work a 3 double crochet increase into the next stitch, not a 5, a 3. So we have 1 double crochet in the next stitch, and into the same stitch 2 more double crochets. And then continue working 18 more double crochets in the next 18 stitches. And this was round 6. Count your stitches to make sure you have 39 stitches around. Let's start round 7 by turning our work. Chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to start by working 19 double crochets. And 19. After you got 19 double crochets done, in the next stitch we're going to work a 5 double crochet increase. In the next stitch we're going to work a 5 double crochet increase. 5 double crochets in one stitch. Into the same stitch 2, into the same stitch 3, into the same stitch 4, and 5. And again work 19 double crochets in the next remaining 19 stitches. And this was round 7. Count your stitches and make sure you have 43 stitches around. To start round 8, we're going to chain 3, of course, turn our work, start by working 21 double crochets in the next 21 stitches. Double crochets. When you get 21 double crochets done, next we're going to work a 3 double crochet increase in the next stitch, and you're going to use a stitch marker. Let's work 3 double crochets into one stitch. 1, 2, 3. What you're going to do is take the stitch marker and mark the middle of the 3 double crochets, meaning the second double crochet, and continue working 21 double crochets until you reach the end of the row. And this was round 8. At the end of this round, you're supposed to have 45 stitches around. If your size is extra small to small, this cup is measured 5 inches, 12.5 centimeters, so you can stop here. And if you need a bigger size like me, we're just going to repeat the next row for as many rows as we need. We're going to turn our work. 1, 2, 3 chains, and double crochet 1 double crochet in each stitch until we reach the stitch marker. Then when we made our way into the stitch marker, we're going to take it out and double crochet increase 3 into the next stitch. 1, 2, and 3. And again, just like we did in the previous row, we're going to take the stitch marker and mark the middle of the double crochets. And then continue working double crochets, 1 double crochet in each stitch until the end of the row. So this was row 9. You can either continue working rows like row number 9 until you reach the best fit for you. I'm going to work 2 more rows. I'm a size large, extra large. So if you're stopping here, you can just jump to the next part. And make sure to try the cup on you every once in a while to make sure the size is right for you. After you made enough rows for the cup to fit you, we're going to chain one. Grab our scissors and cut off the yarn. No need to leave a long tail, just enough to weave it in. Then you're going to pull the hook away and tighten up the last tie. Now you're going to make another one exactly like this one, but you're not going to fasten off at the end of round 11. So let's make another one and I'll meet you back again when we have 2 cups. And remember, don't cut off the yarn at the end. And now that we have our 2 identical cups, one is cut off and the other one is still connected to the yarn, I remind you, we're going to put them side by side like this. Grab a stitch marker and connect the 2 edges together. Doesn't matter which end. Then we're going to continue from where we left off, from the other stitch marker. You're going to take out the stitch marker and start chaining a number of chain to wrap around your body. When you have a number of chains you think that's good for you, connect the last chain to the other edge of the cup and try it on your body like this. You're just going to take a stitch marker. You're just going to grab a stitch marker, put it on the last chain we did, and insert the same stitch marker into the last or the first stitch of the other cup. If you see that it's too loose, then take a few chains off because the stitches will stretch in time anyway. What we're going to do next is, just for more comfortable workspace, we're going to put the 2 cups on each other. Then make sure that your chain isn't twisting. Insert back the hook to the last chain, to the last loop, to be more exact. And then insert the hook into the other side of the cup. So the 2 cups are connected from the back side. And now we're going to connect them also on front. Next, we're going to start working on the foundation chain we just connected. So we're going to chain 1. And we're going to work half double crochets into the back bumps of the foundation chain we just made. So yarn over, tilt your work a little bit and go into the back bump. And this is our first half double crochet. If you need to know where the first half double crochet is, mark it with a stitch marker just to be more sure. Work your half double crochets all the way to the end of the foundation chain and then we'll meet again. Now that we've finished the foundation chain and we're starting to work on the cups, we're going to put 2 double crochets for each row we have in the cup. This is 1 row, this is the second one, this is 3, 4, 5. So you're going to put 2 half double crochets on the side of the first double crochet of each row. It sounds difficult, but it's not. You're just going to insert your hook into the stitch and work 2 half double crochets into each stitch. Let's move to the next row. 1 and 2. Check yourself every few stitches to make sure you actually put 2 stitches for each row. Let's continue working half double crochets on the bottom of the cup, and I'll meet you back again when we reach the connection point of the 2 cups with the stitch marker. When you get to the last row, what you're going to do is work 1 half double crochet, not 2. Take out the stitch marker from both rows, yarn over into the row, And then you're going to insert your hook also into the next row of the second cup. So it looks like this. You have the 2 rows on your hook and 2 loops here. Yarn over into both rows. And when you have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over into all 3 of them. Then you can complete the other half double crochet of the first row. And now our 2 cups are connected. You can continue working 2 half double crochet to each row in the other cup. Let's complete the half double crochets and I'll meet you back again at the end of the round. When you get to the end of the round, let's work the last 2 half double crochets. We're going to join the round, but make sure that you're inserting your hook into the top of the stitch where we inserted the stitch marker so it won't twist. Insert your hook, yarn over into the stitch. When you have 2 loops on your hook, grab the left one into the right one to form a slip stitch. And then chain 1 to close the round. Next is the longest part, but it's the most satisfying one. We're going to just continue working rows 1 half double crochet in each stitch until we reach the desired length for our body. So work the first half double crochet, mark it with a stitch marker, and then continue working 1 half double crochet in each of the next half double crochets. All right, this is how our top will look like when we've finished working the belly area under the chest. I worked 26 rows, but it really depends on how much you want coverage and of course the size of your body. Everyone is different. It's okay if you need more rows or less rows if you prefer. When I made this exact same top with category 4 yarn, worsted yarn, I worked 18 rows in the belly area. So it really depends on the yarn you're working with and how much coverage you want. I'm going to finish the last round. If you haven't already, do it. And then we're going to join the round as usual by slip stitching into the first stitch of the round. And then chain 1 like we did before, only now we're going to cut off the yarn with our scissors and fasten off by pulling away the hook, pulling the yarn through the loop, and then pulling the yarn to tighten the stitch up. To the next part, the straps. Next, we're going to mark the places we want the straps to be attached on the back. So you're going to take 4 stitch markers, count 20 stitches away from the cup's end, and mark the stitch. Then count 4 more stitches away and mark the next stitch as well. Same here, count 20 stitches away from the cup, mark the stitch, count 4 more stitches and mark the next stitch. Next, you're going to pick any of the cups, it doesn't matter which one. And we're going to identify the middle stitch we did in the increase 3 at the top of the cup. So you see we have 3 stitches in one stitch here. We're going to take the stitch marker and mark the middle one. Then take another stitch marker and mark 2 stitches away from each side. Here and here. Now we have 5 stitches from stitch marker to stitch marker. Grab the same color yarn, make a slip knot and put it on the hook to attach new yarn. We're going to attach the new yarn to the right stitch marker. Insert your hook into the stitch that we just took out the stitch marker from. Yarn over into the loop. When you have 2 loops on your hook, grab the left one into the right one to form a slip stitch. and then chain 1. Into that same stitch that we just slip stitched into, insert your hook again to work a single crochet. You can use a stitch marker to mark this stitch to make sure you don't miss the first one. Move to the next stitch and work a single crochet in it as well. 2, take out the stitch marker, 3, into the next stitch another single crochet, 4, and 5. Next we're going to turn our work. You can either chain 1 at the beginning of the row, it doesn't matter if you don't. The most important thing is that you're going to work 5 single crochets into the next 5 single crochets we did before. So into the first stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, and take out the stitch marker from the last stitch, and 5. Again, turn your work and repeat row 2. I made 76 rows, but feel free to work as many rows as you need for your body. Once you're done working rows of single crochet to make the strap, what we're going to do is connect the 5 single crochets here in the last row of the strap to those 5 stitches we marked with 2 stitch markers on the back. So first you're going to flip your top. Before you attach the strap, make sure that the strap is straight and not twisting. Then put the strap between the stitch markers we put and take out the stitch marker that secured the last loop. Take back the yarn into your hand and gently you're going to insert the hook into the first single crochet of the last row in the strap and then insert it into the first stitch marked by the stitch marker. So you can take out the stitch marker, but remember where it was. Insert the hook into that stitch as well and it will look like this. 1 loop and 2 stitches, then yarn over into both stitches, and when you have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over into both of them. Do the same in the next 2 stitches, into the single crochet of the strap, into the stitch of the back of the top, yarn over into both stitches, and yarn over for a single crochet. Let's repeat that for 3 more stitches. And take out the last stitch marker to connect the 2 last stitches. When you're done and the strap is attached, simply chain 1, grab your scissors and cut off the yarn. Pull away the hook to fasten off. And once you're done, repeat the same process on the other strap. Try it on your body just to feel good for a second because it's already gorgeous. And let's move on to the next part. Next, we're gonna add the ruffles, so turn the top upside down. We're gonna start from the bottom. Choose any other color you like for the ruffles. I chose this yellow. We're gonna start by making a slip knot and put it on the hook. Then you're going to choose any stitch in the last row of the top. We're going to work into the front loops only, so to isolate the front loop, you're going to insert your hook between the loops. not under the two like we do regularly. We're going to insert the hook between them like this. Then yarn over and slip stitch, then chain 2. And this chain 2 doesn't count as the first stitch. We're going to work a double crochet increase 3 into each of the next stitches in the round. So yarn over into the front loop only, yarn over into the loop, yarn over, and yarn over. Work 2 more double crochets into the front loop of the stitch we just worked into, 2 double crochets, and 3. Move to the next stitch and work a double crochet 3 increase as well into the front loop only. Move to the next stitch and work 3 double crochets into the front loop only. Let's continue working 3 double crochet increases into each of the stitches of the round, and I'll see you back again at the end of the round. All right, now that we worked our way around and we got to the end of the round, we're going to finish the round. I'm going to work the last increase into the last front loop. And lastly, we're going to slip stitch into the first double crochet of the round, not the chain 2. Insert your hook to the top of the stitch, yarn over, slip stitch, and chain 1. Then grab your scissors to cut off the yarn and fasten off. This part is done. What we're going to do next is do the same thing we did to make the ruffles on the bottom, all the way from the back to the cleavage area, and go back around here and do the same on both of the sides. Basically we're done, but if you want to add this little bow right here, I made a slip knot, chain 35, and then tied it on front. And finally we're going to flip the top inside out, grab a darning needle, and weave in all tails left. And this is it, guys. Our top is ready. I really hope you liked it. If you did, it would be really helpful if you like, share, and comment on this video. I put a lot of time and effort into it. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next video. Bye!